I don't know what it is, but there was something different, or should I say something familiar, with what Hamilton was saying throughout the Miami F1 race weekend. Starting with the sprint race, Leclerc DNF'd because he aquaplaned. What wasn't talked about as much is that Lewis nearly had the same crash, which led to him saying this. But in Ferrari's defence, they weren't the only ones to pick these tyres. Hamilton went on to secure third after he led the strategy call to move on to the softs earlier than most did, although admittedly his hand was kind of forced because the tyres were not in a good place. Then came qualifying and both drivers said they were maximising the car, and previously Hamilton hasn't been that explicit with what the issues are related to the SF25, but after qualifying he said it was these things. Given how open he was after 6 rounds, I get the idea that he might have snapped just a little bit. Whilst he says he doesn't see anything from the internet, he does hear the questions from the media, and I would probably be a bit irritated if people were questioning my performance and my skills when I knew there was something very wrong with the car. Moving on to the race, the broadcast very firmly focused on Ferrari's interesting strategy, and that's when we saw the return of sassy Hamilton. I won't go over that because we all know what happened, but it's the responses that I found quite interesting. There was Leclerc, who didn't want to comment on the situation, but him and Hamilton made it very clear that they were not blaming the other driver, and also neither of them said anything on the team radio after the race. Hamilton was a lot more talkative, but I think the main takeaway from it was the fact that he wasn't going to apologise for what he said, and he said that's because he's a fighter, he still wants it, and he knows the rest of the team does. His comments were more in sarcasm than anger. And to be fair, he's not the only one who has said that Ferrari sometimes take a little bit too long to make their decisions. Then there is Fred, and he said the strategy was well executed, stating that they were weighing up if Hamilton was faster due to pace or due to DRS, and this only took a lap or two. However, as pointed out by Jensen Button, each lap behind Leclerc would have damaged Hamilton's tyres. I think Hamilton's team radios have kind of been built up throughout the season, but he now feels more comfortable with the team, which is why he feels like he could be a little bit more honest. Finally, what is the future for Ferrari? I think there will be some difficult and honest but important conversations. Also, there are rumours that Ferrari will be bringing a decently sized upgrade package. However, when that is, I don't know. But I'm not too sure what will actually come out of these upgrades. After Miami, both drivers seem to be saying that they know what the issue is with the car, but they are waiting on the upgrades. However, Leclerc also said that he doesn't know if they have the solution. So if these upgrades don't seem to work, I don't really know where else they can go.